Hi there, my name is Suze, and I work with women to help them find balance between their internal masculine and feminine energies so that they can have lives that feel really emotionally fulfilling, full of love and connection. So, today I want to talk about the problem with polarity in relationships, and that might sound like kind of a weird title, but this is a subject that took me years to unravel in my relationship and to really come to a place where I felt really good about it. Because here's the thing, all right? If you're here listening to me, you probably have a life story similar to mine in the aspect of this. You probably spent, you're probably a feminine woman who has spent the majority of her life living in a wounded masculine frame, woke up one day, decided you wanted to be more in the feminine space and wanted to be a feminine and attract in a masculine man. And that was like seriously really simplified, but you know what I mean, right? So you came into this space of recognizing, okay, I don't want to do relationships like I've done them before. I don't want to live my life like I've been doing it. I want to live in the feminine. I want to be a feminine. And I want to be in a relationship, a really deep, meaningful connection with a masculine man. And I want to learn how to integrate us both together so that we have this really deeply, emotionally intimate, very emotionally connected, growth minded relationship dynamic connection, right? You probably are in that space, and that's probably why you're listening to me, right? Here's the problem though, that again, I don't think this is talked about enough, is that you're going to hit a place where it's going to get confusing because you're going to go into your feminine energy and thinking, okay, I got to be feminine. 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 But the problem there is you're going to end up feeling disempowered at some point. You're going to feel disempowered. You're going to feel like a doormat. You're going to feel taken advantage of. You're going to feel like you don't have a voice. You're going to feel like you're not seen and validated and heard. um, Clearly that's not going to work. Clearly that's not going to work for you if you're all about living this authentic, beautiful life and feeling really good and emotionally fulfilled in it. Clearly that's not going to work. So what the problem is anyone who's teaching strict polarity in relationships as the woman is the feminine and the man is the masculine, they're denying the absolute fact that both masculine and feminine energies exist within each person. So I am in a relationship with a masculine man. I am the feminine in the dynamic with my masculine boyfriend. However, internally, I have masculine and feminine energies. The trick is I get to decide the balance of those two. And I am predominantly in my feminine energy. But that doesn't mean I deny my masculine aspect because I have a masculine man in my life outside of me. Because at the end of the day, you probably have heard this before. As within, so without. As above, so below. So, what's happening in my external reality in my relationship with my man is literally only a physical 3D example of what is happening internally. So, the more I work on my internal masculine and feminine dynamic, it's going to change how my relationship looks, feels outside of me. And so I may be the feminine in my dynamic. I feel better when I'm in my feminine energy. It feels so relaxing to me. It feels so soft and open. And after a lifetime of struggle, feeling soft and relaxed and open is a breath of fresh air. And having a man who is willing to do and show up and give and be actively participating in my relationship is a relief after previous relationships where I felt like I had to do all the things and I didn't really want to. So Yes, I am in my feminine the majority of the time. I am the feminine in my relationship. However, I do allow my masculine self as well to come forward. Because if you understand what energy is, really, truly, purely how the differences are between the masculine and the feminine energy, I'm in my masculine right now by speaking to you. Speaking is masculine energy. And clearly, communication is a very, very, very important part of being in a successful relationship with someone. Letting your emotions, your heart be heard and seen, that requires a masculine element of communication, of speaking. Because anytime you are taking energy from inside of you and putting it out into the world, that action is masculine energy. So clearly, I have to have both. And I have to be wise in walking the fine line in my relationship between recognizing when I need to be in which one. The other thing that changes everything is when you do your own internal masculine healing. I started to very lightly get into that. I'm trying to remember the name of the video. A few videos ago, I started getting into that about recognizing that the inner masculine inside of you has to be healed in order for you to have a relationship with your external masculine at the level that you want to have it. I can't remember the name of that video, but I talked about that. And so that's where the masculine comes in, is your inner masculine. Your masculine energy is what helps you create safety and stability for yourself. Whenever you notice you're in a state of anxiety, you know how to, with yourself, bring yourself back to stability and calm and peace and harmony. I'm loving the word harmony right now, so I'm going to throw it in here. For some reason, harmony is a huge theme for me right now in my life, and I love it. I have it written on that board behind my head, peace and harmony. So that's the masculine aspect. Here's the other piece of it too, that people don't talk about enough. If you're the feminine in a relationship with a masculine man, and you want to be deeper in your emotional intimacy and connection with your masculine man, you as the feminine, you're going to have to lead the way. The feminine leads in the matters of the emotional, energetic space, because that is the space that the feminine rules. Masculine energy rules the 3D physical world. Feminine energy rules the spiritual, emotional, energetic, ethereal world. So if you want to go deeper into the emotional world, the feminine has to lead the way. Now, we all know emotions and men is a tricky subject. And a lot of men struggle with emotions. A lot of men, struggle with that aspect of women being emotional, right? So the feminine has to learn within herself to use her internal masculine to create safety in the emotions for the masculine man to go into the emotional space with her. I hope that makes sense. It's the feminine who has to create the safety, the safe container in the world of the emotional for the man to meet you there. And that's something that is not talked about enough. And I feel that the emphasis is the emphasis is too often put on the men, and the responsibility is put on the men about creating safety for the women. And yes, it is their job to create safety for women, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to emotional deepening in the connection, that is something that women can do actually better than men can do, because it's in the emotional world. And women need to start taking more responsibility for the power we do have in the emotional world. It's really not on the heads of the men. It's on the head of your internal masculine. You creating the emotional safety to be vulnerable. You being vulnerable. It takes both aspects within me to create a successful relationship with my masculine man partner. It's not just me being feminine. Because if I was just feminine, only feminine, pure 100% only feminine, I wouldn't be working. I wouldn't be making any money. I wouldn't be doing the dishes. I wouldn't be parenting my kids. I wouldn't be talking and communicating. And anyone knows a relationship is not going to work if there's only one person doing all the talking and communicating and the reaching out and the expressions of love. So it takes both aspects. And this is where I'm really going to try to start moving this channel, is recognizing that as a feminine, you think it's all about the relationship. You think that your heart desire is all in the relationship, in the finding the man, finding the one, or having the perfect relationship, or having the deep emotional intimacy in your relationship. But that's not actually what it is. It's actually the internal relationship of your own inner masculine and feminine. And when you work on that, that will automatically, energetically shift the external relationship with your masculine partner. That's the magic of the feminine, the divine feminine. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and this is a little bit too heavy and deep for you, go back and see a video I did about, I think I titled it like a feminine energy, divine feminine energy, masculine energy, divine masculine energy. Because the divine masculine, it's the same thing. He may be the divine masculine, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a feminine aspect as well, so that he can go into his emotions. He can go into his heart space and love a woman from his heart space. Real connection from a man. Both are required. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to go any deeper into this at that time. I hope that really planted some seeds out there for some change and some shifts. If you found value in this video, I would seriously, deeply appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to boost this message and have it more visible out there, because more people do need to hear this. Thank you so much for being here and for listening. I so appreciate you all. Have an amazing rest of your day.